Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can get nice smooth dolly cinematics in Rocket League. I've made many Rocket League trailers for Logitech Gaming and for Play Beyond, also known as Team Beyond before, so I have lots of experience making Rocket League videos. You'll see some of the clips here. I always pride myself on getting very good cinematics, and what you can do with Rocket League is pretty crazy using this plugin. So let's dive in and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so there's a few things you're going to need before we get started. First is a controller. I'm using an Xbox One controller. It's weird because I'm using my keyboard to actually set up the cinematics and where I want my key points to be, but I'm using the controller just to place keyframes in Rocket League. So for some reason Rocket League requires me to use a controller to place my keyframes for my dolly. So that's why I have it. I'm really only using the up arrow on the D-pad, but that is something you need. Unless you can find your own way to place the markers with just your keyboard, but I couldn't, and I haven't really looked into it for about a year now, so I've been still just doing it this way. Secondly, you need a software called BakkesMod, or let me see, BakkesMod. Here we go, I'll say it right. And I've already installed it, and I'll link to you down in the description where to install it. Super easy, just install it. And once that's running, then you can turn on Rocket League, so let's get started. So you can see I actually need an update, so I'm just gonna update that first, which is nice. It kind of does it just right there in the software. And then when it's finished, it'll say, please inject, or waiting for Rocket League to be injected, I forget, but it needs Rocket League running, obviously. There we go, so it says uninjected, waiting for user to start Rocket League. So I'm just gonna start that up now. All right, here we are in Rocket League. Now remember, beforehand, you should know what kind of software you're using to record your angles. I'm using OBS to record this tutorial, but you could use OBS to record your angles as well to get the footage. You could also use NVIDIA Shadow Play, which is something like this, which is what I will be using for now. So it's under GeForce Experience, but here I can kind of control all that. But anyways, moving forward, I'm going to start, and I already have some replays saved, but hopefully you do as well. And let's go into here. So replays, and let's grab some that I was given. So here we're in a replay, and this is a replay I was given to use for angles from a tournament they had. And you can see shift pauses for now. You can see in the bottom corner it says that. So there's a few things I like to do first. If I click F, I can see specific camera effects that just affect the camera. But what I also like to do is go escape, then go show controls, and here I actually like to screen cap this. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'll screen cap just this. Yeah, it's gonna freeze, so you probably can't see it. So now I have that screen cap saved, which should be on my desktop here. Yeah, and I bring this over to my other monitor just to have it open as well. So it's nice and easy to see all these controls. You see it is showing me my mouse and keyboard controls and not the controller, because I'm currently in the game using that. Like I said earlier, the controller is just to use up on the D-pad to place kind of like a keyframe. So now I'm in the game here, and you can see you can switch around with different things. If I look over on my side camera, I can see how to switch controls. So I'm going to go to fly cam. So this is what fly cam looks like here. And I believe if I press H, it toggles my UI. Yeah, so you have to press it a few times to find the one where it doesn't have anything. So now we're going to enable the software to get the nicer cinematics. So what I do here is press F6 to bring up my command console. I'm going to type in Dolly, or sorry, I'm going to type in exec space Dolly cam. And for some reason caps is on, so let me try again. exec space Dolly cam. So now Dolly cam is enabled, and just to be safe, I'm actually going to clear the last path. So let me go Dolly, and you can see it's starting to type things out here. So I can actually go DOL tab, because it'll fill it out for me. And then I go P and tab, C tab, so it fills out Dolly path clear faster for me. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is hold Shift, and it'll bring up the speed, and I like to put it at say 25%. And let's just do a play around cinematic here. So I'm going to move my camera around. This is using my keyboard, like I said. I'm not actually using the controller yet. Now using Q and E, you can rotate the camera, and I find these usually get at least the nicest cinematics. So let's have our starting position here. Now this is where I use my controller. I'm going to press up on the D-pad, and we're going to save this keyframe, or save this camera position. Now let's click spacebar, and I'm going to count out 3 seconds. Or sorry, I'm going to click shift to play it, and I'm going to count out 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. The reason I'm counting out 3 seconds is I want each camera position to be consistent with the same time it is apart, so it doesn't whip around. Because later we're going to take the average of our camera positions to make it smoother. So if we take the average and one of them is thrown off really funny, it will not look that good. So let's have the camera go say around here, and have it rotate a little more back here. Or let's have it rotate a little flatter so we can have both. So I'm going to press up on the D-pad to lock in this camera position, and I'm going to click play and count out another 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So we see kind of goes all crazy over there, but since my camera was already coming across, I'm going to get another angle. Something like this, and make it even out again. You could zoom in and everything as well, but for now this is what we're going with. I'm going to lock in the camera position. Pressing F, I bring up my controls. I'm actually going to add some camera blur. So let's bring down the focal strength. And you really just play with this to find what you like. Sometimes if you bring it up all the way, it looks really bad. Like these ones look stupid. So you gotta like casually play with the depth of field here. So let's say those are all our camera positions. So now I'm going to move away from where I was saved, and you're probably wondering why, but if I press O, it shows you my keyframes. So there's one there, one there, one there. Now if I press P, this is originally what it looks like, where you see a straight line and then like a sharp turn, which is not what we want. We want it to be smooth, so I press P again, and like I said, it takes the averages of these. So I'm going to press back. Then what I press is the left arrow key to go back, and you got to make sure there's no red on this bar, because that's going to show you where the camera is. And you can see if I go back once, there is no red at all. So I'm going to press O to get rid of that. Now we need to turn the DOLLYCAM on. So press F6 again, go Dolly, tab, activate tab. So I'm typing Dolly activate, hit enter, hit escape, and now I'm just going to click play and watch what happens. So you can see it used those positions. Now, a lot of the times I find like, hey, I'm happy with that. Say I just recorded it. Awesome. That's my cinematic. But I find now I want to go do another one. So what you need to make sure you do is you go Dolly, deactivate, then Dolly, path, clear. You need to do that in order to go make another one now. Otherwise it'll freak out, and if it freaks out, the only way to fix it is to literally close Rocket League or close the replay and open another replay. So it doesn't look like we have too much of a blur, so let's go for a crazier one just to have some fun with it here. One of the ones I like to do is have the camera whip around to add some speed and motion blur. So let's find a nice position here. I'm going to zoom in, press F, and I'm going to control this a little more. Let's bring up the blur strength, something like this. Actually, that's the opposite. I'm going to bring the blur down because we're going to be whipping around. So I'm going to go up on the D-pad, and this is my starting location, and I'm going to use 5 seconds because really the seconds don't matter. I'm just going to make sure they're consistent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to whip this around here. So this is a crazy camera move, and we'll see. You might even break it, because what you need to learn is you shouldn't have too crazy a movement, or when it takes the average of the few, it's going to look bad because it just cuts it funny. But I'll use this as an example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy kind of hits it, so that's nice. I forgot to rotate the camera. You got to consistently do that. Let's say this. Add a keyframe there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to play with, I don't know where a good location is. We'll just have this one be a casual one here. So lock that in. And now let's zoom out. Hit R to straighten out your camera. And let's hit O and see how crazy this is. So you can see, even though my one keyframe was right here, it's not going to go to that keyframe because it's taking the average. So really it missed it pretty hard because it wants the average of all 4. Even that one there, you can see the red dots where the camera keyframe was supposed to be. But taking the average of these crazy angles isn't really going to work. That's why you need to go slower and just kind of manually place more angles and have them not be as wonky for the camera. So here we can see where the red is. That means the camera is still there. And let me go back. Now there's no more red here. So that's good. Let me go O to hide this, and let's play with shift again. Oh, no, I didn't activate it. See, I messed it up. So let's go F6, Dolly, tab, activate. Now I'm going to play. As you can see, it completely missed the camera and what I was going for. You might get a cool shot like right there. That's pretty good. But overall, what I was going for, it missed. So that's one thing to think about while you're doing this is you really have to control the camera and be safe about it, because cutting it, I mean, obviously has issues like that where taking the average messes it up. Now, like I said, I hold shift and I can pick my speed. I play at 25% speed. That way I can still record at 60 FPS, and make it smooth, because I could just times it by 400 to get it to the actual speed, or whip around with Twixtor, having going in and out with all the controls. But you could record even slower at 5% speed and see how slow they are and get your angles as well. It's up to you. But that's basically the tools and the way I operate to create my cinematics for all the Logitech and Astro videos I've been working on. So hopefully that's helpful for any Rocket League fans, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.